I'm sure you've been in this situation before. You're attacking an enemy and it's just outside of your spell's range. Usually the best option to switch to in this situation are throwing pots, but even those have their limitations, especially when using lock-on. Thankfully, with a little skill and a technique that is called free aiming, you can extend the range of these pots, and actually many spells. It takes a little bit of practice, but that's why I'm here to help you learn.
You serious?
Nice.
Free aiming can be incredibly useful with spells or incantations, Ashes of War, and even with your basic melee attacks.
We're gonna kind of go through the basics with you of the stuff that you need to do to not like suck as much as you do. Stuff. If you're getting tired of the taste of balls because you're licking them like so much in the games you play, you know, you can listen to me and Doug's advice on how to get better.
The first thing to understand is why lock-on is not a necessity for playing. I like to think of lock-on as more of an aim assist. As you can see, I can't hit him without lock-on. It allows you to aim further down than you would normally. I'm trying to lock onto him here, but I just can't, so I have to get a new angle. As you can see, sometimes the lock-on helps me, sometimes it doesn't. Thankfully, that hit staggered him. Lock-on is definitely not always your friend, though. But some spells and incantations absolutely require it, or else they're basically useless. Like the basic lightning bolt here, you can hit with it, but good luck.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Now here's a shortened fight with the Glintstone Dragon to showcase what I'm talking about. In this fight, I constantly swap between lock-on and free aim. Like here, I miss my attack, so I stay locked off and I just get a couple of R1s on the wing. There are times when lock-on is absolutely helpful and nearly essential. I decide to lock off and go for the wing again, and I should have done the same here too. There are problems with the lock-on overall though, which is why you want to toggle it off frequently. This right here is why you don't use it all the time, because this can seriously mess you up. Another example of missing and then taking a couple swings with a free aim because I know I can get them in. Here's another example. You really want to use lock-on to dodge this attack. It makes it so easy. And here I could have gotten a headshot with the second fireball if I had free aimed it. I'm lucky I even hit the second one. Okay, time to finish him off. There we go.
God damn!
On to throwing pots. The simplest way to think about free aiming is to imagine having a crosshair in the center of your screen at all times, like this. You've got to get the angle just right, and...
You bastard.
So if we add that imaginary crosshair like so, as you can tell, it definitely helps with aiming, but the thing is, it's actually always there. You've just got to picture it in your head. Now here are some clips of me free aiming throwing pots effectively. Volcano pots work great against people climbing ladders. Sometimes it's just best to use throwing pots as a bait and trick the opponent into rushing you.
You activated my trap card! A costly mistake! Time to duel!
All I had to do was bait this guy into a running attack and got him. Incredibly useful when trying to finish off an opponent. Usually they just run in a straight line or panic roll away, so they're an easy target.
Got it!
Don't you just hate it when you're swinging your weapon and it happens to bounce off a wall? Free aiming won't prevent this entirely, but it can help a ton. There are two things to understand about wall bounces. One is the tip of the weapon won't bounce. It's usually around the center of the weapon, and it's also usually the beginning of the animation. If you hit the wall at the end of the animation, it won't bounce. So the trick here is to know your weapon's moveset well enough and also aim slightly away from the wall if you feel like you're going to bounce off of it. As you can see, quite a bit of the weapon actually will go through the wall. You'll get a feel for it as you play the game more and more. This is definitely most effective with colossal weapons or greatswords, things with wide swinging arcs and large hitboxes. As you can see, you can aim away at the last second to prevent it. Extremely useful when fighting in tight corridors. In this clip, pay attention how I manipulate the sword hitbox to hit specific parts, especially the head once he's fallen. For this one, once I stagger him, I unlock and use my Ash of War to maximize the amount of hits before I take the critical. In this one, I use a free-aimed Flaming Strike to take out the Phantom, and then my dual halberd moveset to make sure I hit the host properly.
Riggedy!
Wreck, son!
You activated my trap card! A costly mistake!
God damn!
After that first clip, I realized I could roll catch with the side hitbox of the whip, so now I start doing it intentionally. I'll walk you through my thought process on this one a little bit. I notice that the host is moving away and the Phantom towards, so I choose to go for the Phantom instead of the host, and lock on as soon as I hit him. Charge Carrion Grandeur, and release lock on last second. For this, I'm going to leave the complete clip unedited of me fighting a Nightrider at low level. Here are my stats. It's right at the beginning of the game. This isn't a no-hit or a level 1 attempt by any means. It's just meant to show how to fight without using lock-on, as I never lock-on once. It takes a little bit for me to adjust to the fight properly, but once I get going, I can hit the Nightrider most of the time, and eventually knock him off his horse as well for bonus damage. I completely missed the first couple of attempts because I'm trying to gauge the range and figure out which move is best to use. Early on, it's best to go for the knight because you want to chip away at the health, ideally both if you can. Looking back on it, to maximize damage, I probably should have saved my catch flame for once he fell off the horse. Also, I had no idea he had invincibility frames here. Just a few more hits, gotta be super careful. I start to use jumping R1s because they're much safer and I can control them better. Hopefully that gave you some sort of idea on how to use free aim in PvE. This is also very good against dragons and tree sentinels. I really can't emphasize enough how good this is with certain spells. Some of them, just like with lock-on, basically have to be free aimed to be any use at all, especially in PvP.
That was easy.
Okay, now I'll give a demonstration on how to practice free aiming. The easiest way to put it is just find a small object and try throwing things at it. Throwing pots have different trajectories, each spell is different. One thing to note though is there is a small dead zone aiming slightly down, so you can't aim at literally every angle, but it's very rarely an issue. As you improve, you'll eventually be able to hit tiny objects and distant foes highly accurately, and sometimes even thread the needle. Another use for free aiming is when you're fighting multiple opponents and sometimes you want to switch targets mid-attack or maybe swing in between the two of them.
Double kill.
Notice here how I strategically aim the Flame of Frenzy to maximize the damage, having the whole spread land exactly where the avatar is. Unfortunately, it can't save me from myself. I love to toss Night Maiden's Mist behind people and make them run into it.
Show me what you got! Disqualified!
Night Maiden's Mist is easily one of the most underrated spells in my opinion, as it is one of the best zoning tools and it does set damage.
Nope.
Just watch how it hits this guy around the corner and lets me know where he is. The Flame of Frenzy is great after critical attacks. You just aim where you think they're gonna be. There are two ways you can hit with the Flame of Frenzy: directly in front of your eyes or in a shotgun spread pattern on the ground. Right here, as I'm charging up the Flame of Frenzy, I keep all of them in the frame and I aim depending on where I think I need to shoot, but the host made a fatal mistake. I lost this duel almost immediately, but then turned it around using some clutch free aims. Couple of good free aims with the Flame of Frenzy at the beginning of this, but the real clutch moment is with the Crucible Breath at the end. I started up, turned towards him, and as soon as I hit him, I lock on. I know they're behind the door, so I initiate with a slam into a really nice Flame of Frenzy, hitting both of them. And then Madness the host for the win. Land the first hit, follow them and predict the roll, and double kill. The host is too far away, so I turn around and hit the Phantom instead. With the Beast Claw, you either want to go for the close hit or just aim for the very, very center and hope the spread hits. Triple Rings of Light is incredibly powerful if you know how to use it well. More Night Maiden zoning, separate the Phantom from his host, and keep the pressure on so that he runs through the cloud and takes damage. slowly inch forward, trying to keep them separated, and then corner the Phantom to finish him off. Here's another showcase of how Lightning Spear is only really good with lock-on.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Swap to Hand of Melania, hide behind the pillar. I'm following him with the control stick as I'm in the air, and then lock on as soon as I hit him. And finish with a pot throw. The last section here is going to be long form invasions. The first bunch I've cut down, but the last two are pretty much raw footage. I chose these clips because they showcase a lot of the techniques and spells I've been talking about here. There won't be any voice recording from this point on. I'll just use text to showcase what's on screen if I feel it's necessary. Hopefully you enjoyed this sort of a guide and showcase. Maybe you learned something, maybe it just made you laugh. If you'd like any specific showcases or tutorials on specific things, I could also do that too. Just let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, give the video a like, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching.
Well, see you later.
But why?
It's gone.
He read that roar! Reminiscent of Genesis. He knew it was happening. He knew it was coming. Is that what you wanted from Evo 2013?
Nice.
Gotcha, bitch!